Hi, I'm Meredith with M&M RV. Today we're going to be taking a look at the area of Asheville, North Carolina. Recently my family stayed at Asheville East KOA Holiday in this beautiful mountainous area. The campground is surrounded by 2 lakes and the Shenandoah River runs straight through it. As we're looking at the map, I can show you exactly where our site was. This is the entrance to the campground right here. And if you come back, there was a road that led back, and these are all campsites all through here. And right where my cursor is here is where our campsite was. Our site was a back-in right against the lake, and you can kayak and canoe and paddleboard in them. They do have boats that you can rent out or you can bring your own. And we saw a lot of people doing that. You can also tube in the river, which we did, and we had a lot of fun doing that. They do have a very small pool, although after we left, we got notification that the pool had closed for some reason. So check the website if you're going to be heading there to make sure that it is open. They did have a small playground and a gaga ball pit. They rent out the fun bikes, and they had several different types of bikes that you could rent out. They had a really nice little game room, decent camp store, pretty much everything you would expect to find at a campground. I will mention that the sites were a little bit on the small side. It was very cozy with your neighbor. We didn't mind that, but if you're someone that really enjoys your space, you might want to book someplace else. But we enjoyed our view so much that we didn't mind that part of it. Immediately after we arrived to the campground, we got set up, and of course it started to pour. And it rained pretty much every day we were in Asheville. But despite that, we managed to have a lot of fun. We had some fun little visitors that joined us, those little ducks that were driving our dog Maple insane. Maple. So the first day we decided to go do a little sightseeing. So we got up and we went into downtown Asheville, which is beautiful. We visited the Grove Arcade, which is an iconic spot with lots of neat little shops and restaurants and street merchants. Asheville is this awesome little arts and crafts type town. It's definitely a foodie location. This is also where I found my spiral light candle, which I'd never seen these before. I'll put a little clip of it in here. But it's a candle that burns in a spiral fashion. So awesome. It's supposed to burn for up to 40 hours. I've been burning mine. Probably gotten at least 20 hours out of it, and it's only about halfway gone. But the idea is that it burns in a spiral fashion, and then the wax melts down into the middle, and then you have a wood wick that you can then light, and that will continue to burn. After we finished up at Grove Arcade, we decided to go check out the Omni Grove Inn. So when you go in, obviously, this is a very famous hotel. It's known to be visited by many celebrities, lots of different wings that you can go and walk through, and some neat little stores inside there. But walk straight through and go look out at the view, because the view is absolutely breathtaking. On our second day, we decided it would be a fun day to go play in the river, which runs pretty much all through the campground. There's several different places where you can jump in. A lot of people were jumping in up near the entrance to the campground, but there's actually back behind the lake that we were on, there is a path that goes all the way around both lakes actually, but the path on our side goes around, and there's actually some spots down in there where you could go down and play in the river there as well. My son decided to bring our dog down, and she's not quite 2 years old, and she'd never really been in water. She's gone to the beach and she's gone to water before, but she never wants to get in. And so he decided it was a good idea to try and teach her. And so we started getting her to swim a little bit, and she is not a fan, still not a fan. She'll do it if she has to, but it's definitely not something she would choose to do. We also visited the outlets in the area. So there's all kinds of things. You could go to the Biltmore Estate. That's what is most famous in the Asheville area, but we actually did not do that on this trip. We ended up going to the Western North Carolina Nature Center. What it actually was is basically a little zoo. It was awesome. And so we saw all kinds of awesome creatures here. When you entered the Nature Center, there was a small little farmette where you could check out some goats and sheep. I think they had some chickens there as well. Everything from bears,
smile,
to red pandas.
I want to get some water.
To owls. There was a nice little otter show when we got there. They were feeding the otters.
Hello and welcome to Brandon's Otter Falls. You're just in time to meet our fun-loving river otters Olive and Obi-Wan as they interact.
We saw bobcats and foxes and wolves and trying to think, there were so many things. We saw a cougar. Most of the animals were sleeping, but we could still spot them. So that was really cool. The way it's laid out, you can pretty much find most of the animals. They also had several different playground areas for children to hang out at, or just for adults to sit and take in some of the nature and beauty there. We grabbed some ice cream while we were there, and then we headed over to Pisgah National Forest to see some waterfalls. And so we headed over there and we found some waterfalls and sliding rock, which is awesome. This is about, 45 to 50 minutes away from the campground. It's worth the drive. To go through the forest, you can find a whole bunch of waterfalls in there, including sliding rock, which is, you could spend a whole day there just playing. So it's a 60-foot drop. You're sliding down granite surface, natural surface of rock, into 8 feet of water. That is 55 degrees year-round. It was freezing, but it was so much fun. I'm so glad that we had the opportunity to do it. One of the number one things about this area is the views. Everywhere you go, everywhere you turn. And we've been to a lot of mountainous areas, but this one just took my breath away. There was something about it that, I don't know, maybe it was just that there was not a lot of cloud coverage while we were there or something, but it just was gorgeous to be able to, every way you turned, you were looking at mountains. So we would definitely recommend heading to this area. We appreciate you watching, and please like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video.